Friends, today we are going to continue the next and the last part of this unit 1 of the physical chemistry. We already discussed the structure of the CO2 and H2 on basis of the IR spectroscopy and which mode of the vibrations are the IR active and which are the inactive that we have seen already. Today we have to justify one statement, that is nothing but the vibration of the CO2 which are Raman active or IR inactive and vice versa. It is also called as rule of mutual exclusion. Spelling is EXCLUSION, exclusion, with respect to CO2 molecule. First of all, we should have to understood the rule of mutual exclusion. Are you getting that point? See, what the question is that justify the statement. The vibration of CO2 which are Raman active or IR inactive and vice versa, or say IR active or Raman inactive and vice versa. Explain the rule of mutual exclusion with respect to the CO2 molecule. So friends, we should first know this statement. Statement of this rule of mutual exclusion is that if a molecule possesses a center of symmetry, in case of the inorganic chemistry, you can very well know this center of symmetry. Every molecule possesses center of symmetry. The Raman active vibrations are IR inactive and vice versa. If molecule has no center of symmetry, then some but not necessarily all the vibrations may be both IR and Raman active. The rule applicable to such a molecule which has center of symmetry. Example, CO2. What is the statement? You got this statement? What is in the statement? It states that if a molecule possesses a center of symmetry, the Raman active vibrations are IR inactive and then the vice versa. If a molecule has no center of symmetry, then some but not necessarily all vibrations may be both IR and Raman active. That should be underlined. The rule is applicable to such a molecule which has center of symmetry. First condition to possess the rule of mutual exclusion is that molecules should have center of symmetry. If molecule is not possessing the center of symmetry, then some of their vibrations may be the IR and Raman active. It is not necessary. There should not be all the vibrations will not IR and Raman active. Okay. Got this statement? 5 marks question is it. Then next, number of degree of vibrational freedom. You know, CO2 is a triatomic linear molecule and we apply the rule 3n-5. Therefore, 4 modes of the vibrations are possible. Vibrational modes, which are those? Vibrational modes: symmetric stretching, asymmetric stretching and bending. That we have already seen in case of this particular CO2 molecules. Here we have already explained this. See, 4 modes of vibrations are possible. In that we have seen the symmetric stretching, asymmetric stretching, then the bending vibration. There are the 2 bending vibrations out of this. They are degenerate, energy degenerate, that we have seen already. Same way we have written over here. This table you have to prepare. Symmetric stretching, that is a IR inactive, whereas Raman active. Asymmetric stretching, IR active. Because for the IR active, what should be there? There should be the change in dipole moment. And in case of the Raman active, there should be the center of symmetry. That this is the major difference in between the Raman and the IR. And bending IR active, whereas the Raman inactive. You got this statement very well. It is very much important. This statement is only very much important. It states that if a molecule possesses a center of symmetry, then the Raman active vibrations are IR inactive and vice versa. If a molecule has no center of symmetry, then some but not necessarily all vibrations may be both IR and Raman active. The rule is applicable to such a molecule which has center of symmetry. Example is given, CO2. Then we come to know the number of degrees of vibrational freedom. Already we have calculated this in the structure of the CO2 molecule. CO2 is a triatomic linear molecule. That's why the formula is 3n minus 5. 3n minus 5 is nothing but 3 into 3, 9 minus 5. That becomes the 4. 4 modes of the vibration are possible. Then vibrational modes are those: symmetric stretching, asymmetric stretching, then the bending. Bending are the energy degenerate. That's why only one we have taken. Then what happens in case of the symmetric stretching? It involves no dipole moment change because both the bonds are simultaneously elongated and compressed. Hence, net dipole moment will be the 0. This mode will be IR inactive. However, it changes polarizability of the molecule because the electron cloud get diffused at one end and compact at another end. Here it is hence it is a Raman active. Why it is a Raman active? There is a polarizability. Means what happens? Collection of the charge at one end, and that's why it's become the Raman active. Then the asymmetric stretching, it involves the net dipole moment change at any stage of the vibration. Thus, during vibration, the dipole moment changes, and hence the mode of will be the IR active. However, it does not change to the polarizability of the molecule because electron cloud is not deformed, hence it is Raman inactive. Then the bending vibration, it involves the net dipole moment during the vibration. Dipole moment will change due to the change in bond angle. Hence the mode is IR active. However, it does not change the polarizability because oxygen atoms are displaced upwards and downwards. The increase and decrease polarizability is same, hence it is Raman inactive. The reason is also given why they are active and why they are not active. Very much important part it is. 5 marks question, it is very much important. Then we will review whole unit. There will be the 6 question based on this unit. 5 marks is question will be there and 5 marks MCQs will be there. That total 25 marks will be there. We will focus on from the starting of the unit. See, in the molecular spectroscopy, we have started with the dipole moment. Then we have discussed the dipole moment and how we can explain the structure based on the dipole moment. Then we have seen the bond moment. After that, how that dipole moment can explain the different cis and trans isomer that we have seen. Then structure of the following molecule on the basis of the IR dipole moment that we have seen: H2O, CO2, SO2, BF3, NH3 and CH4. From these 2 molecules will be there in the exam. Then we have started the rotational spectroscopy. First of all, we try to understand the electromagnetic spectrum. Then we started the rotational spectroscopy. Rotational spectrum of the diatomic molecule we have seen. It is also called as the microwave spectroscopy. Remember this thing. Okay, klystron source is used. Then moment of inertia for the rigid rotor that we have seen. Then we have come to the energy of the rotating molecule, rotational energy levels that we have seen, they are equally spaced. This again we have seen. Then frequency separation, so that the frequency separation between the two energy levels in rotational spectrum is 2b0 or say 2b. That derivation also we have seen. 5 marks question will be there on this particular thing. Applications, in the application we have seen the determination of the internuclear distance, and then effects of the isotopic shift on the rotational spectrum. Sometime the question will be there on the this particular effect of the isotopic shift, and numerical will be based on the internuclear distance will be there. Then the limitations that we have seen, then we try to solve the numerical based on this. Please try the numericals, please solve it, then and only your confidence will build. Don't leave these things. Then vibrational spectroscopy we have started. First of all we have discussed about the vibrations, then the degree of vibrational freedom for linear molecule and non-linear molecule. We have seen the different formula. For the linear molecule it was the 3n-5, and for the non-linear molecule it was the 3n-6 that we have seen already. Then we have seen the example also. Then explain the different types of the stretching and bending modes of the vibration in the molecule. 5 marks, sometimes 5 marks question will be there based on this or that. Explain the structure of the CO2 or H2 molecule on basis of the IR spectroscopy. Then vibrational motion for the diatomic molecules. We have seen the vibrational energy, 0-point energy. Then selection rule for the microwave spectroscopy, or say your rotational spectroscopy, is the delta J is equal to plus or minus 1. Here for the vibrational spectroscopy it is a delta V is equal to plus or minus 1, that you should know. Then we have derived the expression for the frequency of P and R branch. Then we have seen the PR spectrum. Then on harmonic oscillator we have shown that the frequency of the fundamental first overtone and the second overtone bands are approximately in the ratio 1:2, 2:3, or say 1:2. 5 marks question sometime is there on based on this. Then application, determination of the force constant and internuclear distance. Internuclear distance is same as per the rotational spectroscopy, only the force constant is different one. We have seen the numerical based on this also. Then the Raman spectroscopy we have started. In the Raman spectroscopy we have seen the Raman spectrum, Raman scattering, Rayleigh scattering, then Stokes line, anti-Stokes line, Rayleigh's line that we have seen. Difference between the Stokes and anti-Stokes we have seen. Then what is the Raman shift and how it is useful to identify the which lines are there, that we have seen. And then we solve the numerical. Please try the numerical based on this part very well, because it is a very simple numerical based on this part. Please try to solve in notebook. Here we have seen the force constant, how we can calculate the force constant. Then we have discussed the structure of the H2 and CO2 molecule according to the IR spectroscopy. Then last point was the justify the statement the vibration of the CO2, which are the Raman active or IR inactive, and vice versa, or say it is also called as a rule of mutual exclusion. How much questions you have to prepare? See, while preparing the derivations you have to practice again and again. Practice makes and perfect. Please practice well, then your derivation will be the perfect. Very simple unit it is. Two numericals will be there. One will be based on the internuclear distance or the force constant, and another will be based on the Raman spectroscopy. Please prepare it well. Questions are also fixed. Sometimes they ask the frequency separation. Remember these questions. Then frequency for the P and R branch lines. For anharmonic oscillators, 1, 2, 3. These 3 questions. Then rule of mutual exclusion. Sometimes they ask the difference between these and terms what is the Raman spectrum, what is the Raman scattering, what is the Rayleigh line, what is the Rayleigh scattering, what is the Stokes line, what is the Einstein-Stokes line. Numerical will be there based on this. Please prepare this 9 to 10 questions. Out of this 6 question will be there, and if you read all this part, then you can easily write the MCQs also. MCQs also based on this part. At the particular part, I said this part will be for the numerical purpose, MCQ purpose. You got this point very well. Now this Raman active, Raman inactive, that you should know, because you know what is the rule of mutual exclusion. That may come for the MCQ purpose of view. How it will be there? Either true or false, or either multiple choice question, or say fill in the blanks type question. They may ask, what is the rule of mutual exclusion? It said that the vibrations for the molecule which possesses the vibrations, they may be the Raman active or IR inactive, and vice versa. For the first condition is that the molecule should have to possess the center of symmetry. That you have to remember. Please prepare this well. If you are having any problem, any difficulty, you are always welcome. You can ask. Please seriously go through these videos, because all the parts are covered in these videos as per your regular lectures. Please prepare. Please take the rough pages with the help of the pencil. Try to solve the numericals at home, because when you solve the number of numericals, then and then only you can build your confidence to solve the numericals. Otherwise it will very difficult. Because see, when you practice, then and then only it will become perfect. Also you have to write again and again the derivations, then and then only you can build your confidence. Please practice well. Please write it again and again. Please do it well. Then there will not be any difficulty during the exam. Very simple unit it is. You can see the question paper right now. It is not available with me. As it's available, then I will show you how the questions are coming on this particular part. Please prepare this unit well. If you are having any difficulty, you can freely ask. In the next lecture we will continue with the next topic, next unit.